So let me describe the moment and you tell me if this is you. It's the end of the day and you're tired and you look at your kids and they're on their screens, whether it's their iPad or their phones or maybe they're playing their game. You tell them, okay, it's time to turn it off. And it's like you lit a match.
Turn it off, and it's like you lit a match.
So there are three parent fights. Right now, parents are drowning in one of three fights: screens, guilt, fear, anxiety, and concern about, is my kid addicted? And then there's the disrespect, the backtalk, the defiance, just the behavior battles, and then the yelling, and then the guilt over the yelling. And then there's burnout because we've got money pressures. We don't have a community of support, or if we do, we don't feel like we can truly be ourselves in that. And then we're just plain exhausted because we're trying to keep all the balls in the air and have no one there that we feel like we have help. Different fights, but it's really the same pattern. Because when you are that exhausted and that stressed and that depleted, you stop trusting yourself. And you start outsourcing your instincts to the internet, which leads to more confusion because now you don't know what to do. Because the internet gives you 12 different answers, and then you're going to freeze, you're going to cave, or then you're going to explode. When really the issue is you not trusting you, it's not allowing you to be present. Presence is not being peaceful all day. It's leadership under pressure. It's that gap between stimulus and response. Just meaning that it's long enough to choose what you already know is right for your family instead of reacting to what's showing up in your world. When it's missing, you don't become a monster. You just become so reactive because you're just on that edge of emotion. And the worst part is that comes after that is just the shame and the doubt and the uncertainty. Then when you're in that mode, you're in that loop, the next time it happens, you doubt yourself even more. And the next time it happens faster. And you're on this loop of things. But the screen time isn't the real problem. It's transitioning them from that screen time. And most moms aren't afraid of screens. They're afraid of that explosion or the fight that they know is going to happen when they ask them to put it down or turn it off. So you delay, you negotiate, you cave. And then you feel like you're ruining their brain because like you could not get them to look at the screen. And here's what I really want you to hear. Is your instinct that your kid needs less screen time isn't wrong. And you just need to be present enough to hold that line with them without making it a war. Disrespect hits. It hits different than the other battles because it feels personal. Because you're already carrying the load and you're already stressed. You're already like at the frayed edges of your day. 'Cause a lot of us are burning candles at both ends. And then your kid talks to you like you're the help. And you just were like, what? No, he didn't. Right? And so what do most moms do? They tolerate it longer than they should because they're trying to keep themselves under control. And then it's like when you're dieting and you try not to eat the sundae and you eat all the things in front of the sundae and eat the sundae too. It's the same thing because you're not. And then when you have presence, it helps you do what you know you should do, which is to lead them through it, address it earlier, address it cleaner, and then you don't have the guilt hangover because you've done it the way that feels authentic and true, what you know it should be and what you know it should happen. And then burnout. Let's talk about the burnout because burnout is a thing and it is a silent amplifier. Because when you're so exhausted and you feel it in your bones and you have all this information on what to do and there's tips and tricks and hacks and blah, it's not filtering through all of that because you need to be able to be in your body again. Because when you're overloaded, everything feels like disrespect, right? Everything does. And let's not even talk about what our periods and menopause do in this moment. Because every request feels like one more thing. Every meltdown feels like an accusation and proof that you're failing. And you're not. You're not failing. You're parenting. And it's not impossible, but you're parenting in a moment in a season where it feels impossible. And presence is what can protect you from this. So you say, oh, that's great, Tracy. That's perfect. So what do I do? How do I fix this? How do I get out of it? And this is what I'm here to talk about, because you have to get yourself out of it. You have to start trusting yourself, period. That's why the advice isn't working, because advice doesn't build self trust. But building proof that you can trust yourself and you can do the things, that does. And so when you start tracking your wins, and these are wins for you, these are wins for your family, real moments where you didn't snap and you didn't cave and you didn't follow them on the emotional path that you didn't really want to go on anyway, some great things start to happen. You stop living in guesswork. You start to trust yourself again. And when you start to trust yourself again, you can make decisions. And everyone around you, they feel that, right? They feel that shift. And then now they feel safer and they feel more comfortable. And then the whole house starts to shift. So for you, start trusting your instincts. Start going with your intuition. Start showing up and being present. Because that's what the kids need. They don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be there. They need you to be in the moment that they're in with them. And you don't get present by trying harder. You get present by training it one day at a time, one situation at a time, one moment at a time, until it becomes who you are. And if you want a scorecard, I have a 30-day proof scorecard. But I'm just going to say, join us in the Leadership Lab, the Mom Leadership Lab in the school community, because that's where I give you all the tools, all the scripts, all the ways for you to get present and to start being that leader that you already are in your family and doing it in a way that feels good to you. So join us in the Mom Leadership Lab and let's start getting present and raising our kids.